For the first time in years, the Republican Party is showing visible signs of strain. What was once a tightly controlled and unified front is now beginning to fracture as internal disagreements and outside pressures mount. The party, long known for its discipline and ability to rally around a single message, is now facing a new reality. One where unity can no longer be taken for granted. The once solid wall around Donald Trump is now marked by small but telling acts of defiance. Lawmakers are breaking ranks, sometimes quietly, sometimes in public, as they weigh their own political futures against loyalty to the former president. Some are distancing themselves from his rhetoric, while others openly challenge his influence, signaling a shift in the party's internal dynamics. Prominent figures are voicing disagreements, not just behind closed doors, but in front of cameras and constituents. These public disputes, once rare, are now becoming more frequent as leaders debate the direction of the party and the best path forward. The cracks are no longer hidden, they are on display for the nation to see, and anxiety is growing among GOP voters. Many feel uncertain about the party's future, worried that the infighting could weaken their chances in upcoming elections. At town halls and community gatherings, voters express concern about whether their voices are truly being heard, and whether the party can still represent their values in a changing political landscape. Economic worries and looming midterms are pushing politicians to prioritize their districts over party loyalty. With inflation, job insecurity, and rising costs dominating conversations, lawmakers are feeling pressure to address local issues first. Many are recalibrating their strategies, focusing on the needs of their constituents rather than following the party line, hoping to secure their own political survival. The fear that once kept the party unified is fading, replaced by a pragmatic focus on survival. As the old guard loses its grip, newer voices are emerging, challenging traditions and questioning long-held assumptions. The atmosphere in the Capitol is tense, with uncertainty hanging over every decision and vote. Each act of defiance signals that the old rules may no longer apply, and the party's foundation is less stable than it appears. The image of unity is giving way to a more complicated reality, where shifting alliances and new priorities are reshaping the Republican landscape. The central question now: how will Republicans respond to the real concerns of their own base? As voters demand answers on the economy, healthcare, and the future of the party, leaders must decide whether to adapt or risk further division. The coming months will reveal whether the GOP can bridge its internal divides, or if these cracks will widen into lasting fault lines. A defining moment of Republican independence came with the push to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Republicans joined Democrats to force the Justice Department's hand, using a law Trump himself had signed. The move was a rare bipartisan stand for transparency, putting Congress at odds with the executive branch. Lawmakers like Thomas Massie publicly criticized the lack of transparency, targeting the executive, not the opposition. This episode showed Congress reclaiming its oversight power, setting a precedent for future bipartisan cooperation. It was a quiet but powerful declaration: party discipline is no longer absolute. The shift in the GOP was clear when House Republicans forced a vote to expand Affordable Care Act subsidies, defying Trump and party leadership. Their motivation wasn't ideological, it was a response to constituents who now rely on these subsidies. The disconnect between party platform and voter reality is growing, and lawmakers are prioritizing local needs over national dogma. Trump's vague stance on healthcare left a vacuum, allowing members to act independently. This episode shows Republicans are increasingly willing to break ranks when their voters' livelihoods are at stake. Economic anxiety has become the central source of tension and debate within the Republican Party, shaping conversations at every level. Across the country, GOP leaders are facing mounting pressure from their own base, as voters express growing frustration with the state of the economy and their personal financial situations. Recent polls show that 37% of Republican voters now say the economy simply isn't working for them. This isn't just a distant policy issue. It's a deeply personal concern that's affecting daily life. From paying bills to planning for the future, many are feeling left behind, uncertain about how to make ends meet. Families are struggling to keep up with rising costs at the grocery store, gas pump, and everywhere in between. The old political messaging that once reassured voters is losing its impact, as people see their own budgets stretched thinner each month. Even Donald Trump's efforts to shift blame onto political opponents or outside forces are falling flat. Voters are less interested in finger-pointing and more focused on the immediate realities of their own financial struggles, demanding real solutions instead of rhetoric. Republican lawmakers now find themselves caught in a difficult position, torn between defending the party's traditional economic narratives and responding to the urgent, real-world pain their constituents are experiencing at home. The pressure to deliver meaningful change is growing louder. At the grassroots level, activists and volunteers are hearing these concerns firsthand. This groundswell of anxiety is forcing the party to reconsider its priorities and rethink how it communicates with voters, as the old playbook no longer resonates. With the midterm elections fast approaching, economic anxiety could prove to be the decisive factor that shapes not only the outcome at the polls, but also the future direction of the Republican Party itself. Tariffs, once a signature GOP policy, are now a source of economic pain for many voters. Intended to protect American jobs, they've instead driven up prices on everyday goods, fueling frustration. Republicans are trapped, keeping tariffs alienate swing voters. But removing them risks angering Trump's base. The cost of goods is now a central nonpartisan issue, one that's eroding voter engagement and trust. This dilemma highlights the party's internal conflict between ideology and economic reality. With no easy solution, tariffs remain a persistent problem heading into the midterms. A generational shift is quietly reshaping the GOP. Younger lawmakers are selectively breaking with Trump, focused on long-term careers and changing district priorities. Their independence is pragmatic, not ideological, and often tied to constituent needs. Meanwhile, high-profile exits, like Elise Stefanik's decision to leave Congress, signal fatigue with constant political warfare. These retirements aren't protests, but they show the cost of unwavering loyalty is rising. The party is being remade from within, not by open revolt, but by individual choices and new leadership styles. This slow transformation is redefining the GOP's future. Donald Trump remains a towering figure in the Republican Party, commanding attention and loyalty from a significant portion of its base. Yet beneath the surface, his once iron grip on the GOP is showing unmistakable signs of loosening. The party that once rallied almost unanimously behind his every move is now quietly, but steadily, reassessing its future. Some see Trump as a necessary force, while others worry his influence could limit the party's appeal in a changing America. Lawmakers are now weighing loyalty against their own political survival, leading to small but significant acts of independence. Behind closed doors, some Republicans are openly questioning whether unwavering support for Trump is the best path forward, especially as new voices and priorities emerge within the party. These cracks in unity create opportunities for Democrats, who are eager to exploit Republican divisions and present themselves as a stable alternative. At the same time, the Republican message is becoming more complicated, as leaders struggle to balance the demands of Trump loyalists with the concerns of moderates and independents. Voters, meanwhile, are shifting their focus away from party loyalty and toward the pressing question of which party can best address their daily economic concerns. Rising prices, job security, and the cost of living are now at the forefront of voters' minds, overshadowing partisan battles and ideological purity. The trends are clear: economic reality, affordability, and the growing independence of younger Republicans are poised to shape the outcome of the midterms. Many young conservatives are less interested in old party feuds and more focused on practical solutions to everyday problems, signaling a generational shift within the GOP. Trump's influence persists, but his ability to enforce party discipline is fading. Fewer lawmakers are willing to risk their own political futures for his approval, and some longtime supporters are quietly distancing themselves as the party's direction becomes less certain. The GOP isn't collapsing, but it's entering a new, unpredictable era shaped by many voices, not just one. As the party hedges its bets for 2026, its future will depend on how it adapts to a changing electorate, shifting priorities, and the challenge of uniting a diverse coalition under a single banner.